Another 98 Rock test drive. This time again, we're at Wright Way Hyundai, Route 250, West Main in Waynesboro. I'm Steve for 98 Rock. Today we've got something we've been trying to do a test drive on for a while. They've been so scarce, they've been so popular that as soon as they come in, they get off the lot. But we had a chance now with Wright Way to do the 2021 Hyundai Palisade, and this is the one I've been really waiting for. It's the calligraphy level, which is a brand new trim level for Hyundai this year. You can kind of see it behind us. We're going to get into the details here in just a second. Calligraphy, top of the pyramid, top of the line trim level for Hyundai this year. And when you take a look in this, and we're going to bring our buddy Rob Hansen in here in just a second to talk about the trim level and what is involved. We're really talking about kind of the Hyundai Genesis level of luxury in this, and you can compare it to some other higher priced vehicles. We're going to talk about the price point coming up as well. It is going to surprise people, I think, when you look at the trim level and the option list that we're going to talk about today. It's what might be called mainstream luxury, the new calligraphy line that turns what was an already upscale, kind of a mass market vehicle, a three-row SUV that Hyundai's done very, very well with in the last couple of years, to one that knocks on real luxury's door. Hyundai's built its reputation on selling reasonably priced, mass market vehicles. This one takes it up a step. And as always, I got my buddy Rob Hansen here. Rob, thanks for joining us today. A little bit of a rainy day, so we're going to work in amongst the raindrops here. But we've talked about the Hyundai Palisade before, you and I off camera, one that we really wanted to bring in and do, but as soon as they hit the lot, they go off, right?
Yeah, they've just been incredibly popular. It's a lot of times they last only a couple hours when they get off the truck. We're lucky enough now, we've gotten a new shipment of them. We're sitting on about 5 of them, yep, which is pretty impressive. Yep. Considering what everybody else has
So
around.
If you're seeing this and you're interested in a Palisade, come down to Wright Way and check them out before they're all gone. This one is a white 2021 Palisade, which is the calligraphy edition, the calligraphy trim line. Tell us about the trim line.
So the calligraphy takes everything the Limited has, all the tech, and they really just add upon that. Most of it's visual appearance, so the entire front fascia. This is
updated, but this is only on the calligraphy line, this front fascia line.
It is,
right?
And you'll notice certain aspects of it as far as the lower and down here and up here where the daytime running lamps are displayed are a little bit different on the calligraphy.
Now I know when the Palisade first came out a couple of years ago, this was kind of a black and white front end. You either liked it or you didn't. It's really, really taken my attention. I like it a lot with the low slung lights. On the calligraphy line, you get the chrome surround, the different grille. This is only on the calligraphy line as well. But under the hood, something that Hyundai's really come into its own on. This engine, the 3.8 liter V6, the 8-speed automatic, 291 horsepower.
Yeah, it's the only 6-cylinder offered by Hyundai right now in any of their vehicles. Has a 5,000-pound towing capacity, which is perfect. This one even has a hitch on it, so you can hook up a travel trailer and go out for the weekend. And yeah, it's not
overpowered, but I will tell you this. That horsepower level really scoots it down the road. You're not going to have any trouble in traffic, and it's a power plant that's been fully tested and fully vetted over the last few years with Hyundai. So it's a great power plant under the hood. Let's take a look at the exterior. I'll bring Rob around here, and Lee's behind the camera this week. It's a great looking vehicle no matter what angle you take on it. I know these 20-inch rims are also specific to the calligraphy lineup, right?
They are. They're specific to the lineup, as well as you'll see some of the side skirting and the rear fascia as well as updated. And then you also have some interior updates.
I love this brush chrome that they do. It's bright, but it's not overpowering. Kind of really sets it off. The door setup as well, the cut of the sides of this thing. Now it's a 3-row SUV. It can look long, but it really in proportion looks really good. Big wheels.
It does, it's a good size.
It is. And we're going to look at the 3 rows and the leather. The leather is really cool inside, but there's plenty of room in the back even for adults. So we're going to get into that in just a second. If you come around towards the back, again, the light setup on this and the fascia setup on the rear hatch here is something that certainly not found on any of the other Hyundai models or any of the other Hyundai SUVs, but it looks really cool, right?
Yeah, and they're full LEDs all the way around the vehicle as well.
Got the extended stoplight up here, which really sets it off at night. I love the spoiler and the overhang up here. This looks really cool. And one of the things I saw as I was going through some Hyundai literature on this, and I don't know if can you pop this real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Hyundai says that this is the fastest tailgate up and fastest tailgate down in the industry. Now you're saying, why is that a big deal? Less than 5 seconds up, less than 5 seconds down. If you come up to this and you're like me and you only like to make one trip from the grocery store and you got bags on both arms, you want the thing to go up in a hurry. I love that about this. Now the interior, I noticed also on the Palisade, on the calligraphy line, we've got controls for both the second and third row, right?
Yeah, the third row is actually powered down and up, so you can actually lay them down and pick them up with the push of a button, and you don't have to stand there and hold it. You just push them once and they do their thing. The second row you can actually fold down from the rear of the car. They are manual to put back up. And then there's some nice storage here in the rear as well. It's a very generous storage pocket in the back.
Terrific. Now this folds flat for, the third row folds flat, and we're going to take a look at the interior of the cabin here in just a second. Large cargo space, third and second rows, as Rob just said, can be folded down from the controls in the back. Just a gorgeous. Back at Wright Way Hyundai, it's another 98 Rock test drive. We're doing the 2021 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy line. This is the top of the line, and I want to show you these seats. Napa leather, right, Rob? Is that what we call this? Really soft?
Yeah, extra soft Napa leather, which is just a step above the limited trim level. It really makes this interior.
I may have said this up front, but you and I were talking about this before we got started. Just about everything you see on this lineup is standard equipment. There's very few options at the calligraphy line.
There are no options as far as the calligraphy goes. It's everything or nothing. So it's you can get all-weather floor mats for it. That's about it.
Right. And get Lee, who's our brand new to the camera this time. Look at the doors, the leather, which gives you that calligraphy look. That's where that comes from. And then, of course, the Harman Kardon stereo that you're going to see the panels on there. Just a gorgeous interior. Hyundai Palisade 2021 Calligraphy. Back inside this time with our 2021 Hyundai Palisade, the Calligraphy Edition, top of the line. I'm with Rob Hansen here at Wright Way Hyundai, West Main in Waynesboro. And once you sit in this thing, it really tells you the tale here. There's technology just about everywhere you look, but it's all really in a package that feels comfortable. It doesn't overpower you, right?
Yeah, and everything in here too, when you touch it, when you feel it, it all feels quality. Everything has a nice touch to it. There's no super hard plastics anywhere, even down to the radio knobs and the turn signals just feel great.
Well, you and I were just going through a list of what comes standard with the calligraphy package here on the Palisade. The gauges that can be configured from the driver's wheel to look just about any way you want them. The hood is now blinking red because we didn't quite put it all the way down. The turn signals, if Lee can look over my shoulder here doing the video in the back, if you put the left turn signal on, you get the blind spot coming up in the speedo, in the speedometer. And then if you go to the right, you get the camera for the right side in the tack. So you give that blind spot, that comes as part of the package. That is super, super cool. It's a rainy day here. I'm not sure if Lee's going to be able to see that, but the heads-up display, I wasn't sure how I'd react to that. I thought, am I going to be able to look at that and look at that? It really just comes right up there. It says we're doing 0 miles per hour right now, but it's not overpowering, and I could see where you could get really used to that in a hurry.
And what's really nice about it is it's fully adjustable, so you can move the display down or up. You can put it at angles. You can even change the color to really fit what you need up there.
I just learned something new. That's cool. I like that. For the heads-up display, the console down here is really huge. This is part of what everybody always wants to look at. A couple of great cup holders. You've got wireless charging, right, for your smart device. Big soft leather compartment back here, and then run us through some of the controls up here. You got the push button transmission, saves some room.
having that shift by wire system makes it really nice. You can actually, there's a large amount of storage underneath this console that you wouldn't normally get with a traditional shifter, and people really seem to like this. It's because it's a very simple layout. It's not confusing.
Right.
It's very straightforward as to what button does what, so you don't get confused. And heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel.
And the heated and cooled seats are in the first and second row, right?
They are. They are in the calligraphy. You get cooled seats in the rear, which is, you don't see that.
Not at this price point. And we're going to talk about the value level coming up. The drive mode we talked about a little bit. Of course, you've got the HVAC controls. I like the point where they give you the push buttons and the knobs. I'm just old school that way. I like that a lot. And then, of course, you come up into the display. This is really the command center of the vehicle, right?
It is, and this is your home screen here. If you actually swipe this way, you'll see all your icons and everything you need. And like you said, having physical buttons, there's a lot of folks that some people don't like the touch screen. They don't want to do everything on the touch screen. And Hyundai's designed it to where, you know, there's a lot of redundancy as far as you have physical buttons and touchscreen buttons. You're never going to get lost looking for something.
Well laid out. You don't have to worry about the touchscreen getting lost in the controls. I like that because I do that as well. One of the things I know that I loved about some of the other Hyundai SUVs we looked at, and I know it's going to be on this one, is if I put my foot on the brake and put it in reverse, we're going to get the camera. I love this camera with the display that goes with the wheel. You also get the overhead shot, which just kills me. I love that. Just something that you kind of take for granted once you get used to it, but it's here and it's always ready for you for safety. I love that a lot.
The 360 cam's really amazing, and there's actually a lot of features that you can do as far as zooming in and zooming out. You can see all the cars here on either side of us, which is really nice. And then you have a lot of other options. If you're backing up to a trailer, you can have a straight down image, and you can look down your blind spots. It really,
look at
it's
that.
You know, you're always going to know what's around you.
We ran through that really quickly, but that is just super. I love that. Let's run through some of the other things. I'm going to put it back in park in just a second, so don't forget. The audio has several cool modes. You can do a quiet mode, which turns off the audio to the back seat if you've got maybe kids sleeping or you've got some passengers back there talking amongst themselves. You can also do passenger talk, which we just did, and I flipped out Lee, who's handling I can talk to him in the back. There it is. Hello, which is cool. The parking sensor, adaptive cruise control with stop and go. We've looked at some of that before, but once you kind of get into that technology and you're going down the road and you're sipping on a coffee and you may get over across the line, it's going to buzz you to bring you back. I love that. Heated and cooled seats we talked about, the dual overhead, the power moonroofs, two power moonroofs in this, and something called the ultrasonic, I know I was going to stumble over this, the ultrasonic rear occupant sensor.
Yeah, so
safety
it works
for parents, right?
It does. It will detect any movement in the car once you've left the car. So if you've had a dog in here or a small child in here, the car is going to start honking at you. You're going to see flashing lights. And with the Blue Link installed on it, that also allows you to remote start the car with your phone. It'll also start alerting your phone. It'll send text messages. It can send emails.
You know, I didn't even think about pets, but I was thinking about children. But oh man, that's so cool. That's the ultrasonic rear occupant sensor, and the technology surrounding it just makes it super safe. I love it. That's so cool. Well, that brings us to the point that I love in our 98 Rock test drives, which is the actual test drive. I've wanted to get behind the Palisade for quite a while, so how about back with our 98 Rock test drive, Wright Way Hyundai, West Main in Waynesboro. I'm sitting in the cabin along with Rob Hansen and our videographer Lee with a 2021 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy Edition. We've talked about this going through this, and I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a test drive. Rob's going to ride along this time. Foot on the brake, D, watch it come up, see the camera. I love the surroundings. I love the 360 view. We haven't talked about price point. We've talked about all the luxury, Rob. I know from looking at some literature up front on this that the level that you get in here, there are no extra features. There's no things that you're paying extra for. It's all part of the package. This comes in at a price point that's very, very competitive to lesser vehicles, right?
So, yes, as far as a luxury SUV, it's hard to find one that has the tech and options this one has for the price that it's at. Being the Calligraphy, it is at the higher end of the price for the Palisade, but for what you're getting for that price, it's really actually good value.
We're going to sticker on this car right around $50,000. You might get it at a little bit less than that, but it's going to be stickered right around $50,000, which these days, when you're thinking about a luxury SUV with this level of trim, this level of technology, this level of safety, you're not going to find probably 3/4 of this, and that's not an exaggeration. You're not going to find probably 3/4 of what this Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy offers at this price point in, say, I don't know, Lincoln or at any other 3-row SUV. I don't think at this point. I just really don't think you're going to find that. Plus, it's got the added benefit of all of the warranty that we always talk about with Hyundai. Tell us about that.
It's the absolute best warranty in America. So it's 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain, and then 5-year, 60,000 mile everything else on the vehicle, which you can also bump up to 10-year, 100. So you have the potential having this entire car covered for a decade.
Bumper to bumper for a decade. Wow. But it also comes with 3 years of maintenance, right?
Yeah, it's 3-year, 36,000 mile general complimentary maintenance. So it's oil changes and tire rotations. And then if you buy a car from us at Wright Way, we offer oil change and state inspections for as long as you own the vehicle. It's complimentary.
We started talking about the Palisade and how they're been kind of scarce just because they've been so popular. It hasn't been a chip shortage issue. It's just simply because when Hyundai ships them out, they get to the lot. We were talking about a customer that came into Wright Way that followed the truck to the lot to buy the car, which I just love because it just kind of shows you that they're developing a following. This is really what people are looking for in a 3-row SUV at this price point. And right now you've got, as we film this early in September, you've got a good selection, and you have kind of new vehicles coming in just about every week since I've been talking to you about this.
We do. Hyundai's really approached this semiconductor shortage very proactively, and they kind of saw it coming. So they haven't really had too many issues. We're not receiving as much or as big a shipments as we used to, but we're still getting them weekly.
If you look at Wright Way Hyundai's lot, not to put anybody else down or anything like that, but if you're riding by car dealers, you ride by Wright Way Hyundai, you'll find that they have a better selection just about of everything on the lot, both new and used, than many vehicle dealers you're going to pass by. So I'm going to talk to Rob. This is a great vehicle. I want this. I love the Napa leather. I love the interior space. And the 3-row setup on this. If you've been looking for one of these, but you're not looking for one of these big behemoth, these full-size trucks, basically, come look at this, because with the 6-cylinder under the hood, with this, all kinds of great fuel economy. We talked upper teens in the city, mid-20s for the highway, right?
Yeah, with the direct injection, it really allows for some really amazing fuel economy for a vehicle this size. That's very decent fuel mileage right there.
And the heads-up display is now telling me that I'm about 6 miles over the speed limit. So I'm going to slow down while you talk about, or while we tell people to come by a Wright Way Hyundai, West Main in Waynesboro. Check out the 2021 Hyundai Palisade. Talk to Rob or any of the other folks there, and check out the full Hyundai lineup. Do